It's November 2023, and since 2011, I started taking my filmmaking seriously. Since I started my channel, I've documented my journey on being a freelance videographer I wanted to be. So welcome to My Creative Process 12, a series of cinematic vlogs where I document my top 3 film experiences where videography and photography has taken me. From doing video projects where it was challenging without certain gear. And in this video, I want to show you when gear actually matters. From using cameras, lenses, and also accessories. So this is my story. Wagwan, my name is Tyski, and if you're new to my channel, I'm just a creative filmmaker just spreading my creative vibes. Now, since I've been in the game for filming since 2011, I didn't necessarily need that much gear besides my camera, my computer, and my editing skill set and just creating videos. But over time, when my skills started to develop more, I realized gear did matter. The biggest realization was when I got into wedding filming. I realized I needed a rig for my GH5 to allow me to have lights, microphone, and just any other things that I need to shoot a wedding video. And surely enough, this definitely changed the game. So after getting a rig, I got this cool opportunity to fly out to Oregon and shoot a wedding, and the rig just served me well. So here we are, section 1, Oregon, wedding day. Elijah and I talked about this for about 3 months, explaining about what we're going to do and process when it came to this actual wedding day. So here was the moves. We had a game plan of getting some cover shots and B-roll of the location before the event started. So let me show you my creative gear that I'll be using for this wedding. My GH5 rig consists of having a battery grip, a left-handed wooden grip, the GH5 lanyard, an extended shoe mount slot, an under shoe mount to storage my MC aperture lights, and a top spot for the Rode mic. And lastly, my Insta360 for behind the scenes. In case you want to see more about this rig, you can click on the icon or the link in the description below. With 3 hours of prep time, Elijah and I had finally got our cover shots ready. Now we're just waiting for the bride and groom to get ready so they can be set to start their wedding. Everybody started showing up, so this meant that we were on a good start and a good track. And now we're just waiting for the bride to meet her father and see his reaction for the first time.
Please don't cry.
And now the wedding starts. But there was some issues.
What's the word? Keep going.
No. I don't want that song. Dad, I don't want that song.
The bride walked up annoyed, the groom showed up very late. They finally got their time to shine, but I think the tensions between the two families just wasn't feeling it. They cut their cake, the table caught on fire. The food was delicious though, but it finally became time to chill and relax and enjoy the vibes. Now I want to introduce you to another photographer. Her name is Hannah, and she's Elijah's cousin. I noticed she had a very light setup, so I wanted to interview her about her setup for this wedding. I heard what you were talking about, that you wanted to look into like mirrorless cameras, like the R6 or like the R7 or something like that. Like, what is it, T6?
T6. Really focused my portfolio on fashion and editorial work. I purchased this lens after using it at college. It's great if you have the space to use it.
Yeah, because this is an 85, right?
85.
85?
85.
Okay, so I figured it was
Yes,
85.
85.
Yeah.
Man, like I feel like the gut, like knowing like I gotta shut it on. I have to. You know,
This is the pops right here.
Yeah,
Ian.
yeah.
I was staying in their house, so much love.
Yeah.
This is my boy's father right here.
Yeah, exactly.
So not other than me, but it seemed like having specific gear was very important for the majority of us creators. How I had my GH5 rig, Elijah having his setup, and Hannah having her minimalist setup. So when I started my career, I really need to dive into what's the type of niche within film that I need to dive in to start building my skills up. And that for me was music videos. Now luckily for me, I have a few homies that are artists, but there's one in particular that I worked with multiple times, and his name is Najee. He's very talented on the lyrics that he portrays, and his style is just very dope. So when he hit me up about this new music video that he had called Monogram, he had this really cool concept, and I think the whole aesthetic was such a
They call my
vibe.
brother top of the summer with 10 whole bricks. Cartel affiliated, so we won't go snitch. If God real, then he the reason case got dismissed. And my niece gon' get a chance to give her father a kiss.
We back at it again, hitting that with my boy Naj right there. BTS gonna be Parker right there. We got Elijah and Choppy right there, making music, content, videos. Let's get it rapping.
Black man, act like nobody gon' have your back, man. Live for yourself, not need to know how to act, man. Keep it a stack, man. Run it like last, man. Get eating like it's dots in they pack, man.
Now the concept that we had going on was the summertime 70s. So the gear that I knew that would look best for this was going to be my GH5, a 25 prime, and a gloom mist filter. So 2 weeks before we shot this video, I've been working so hard on doing this new effect with the Luma key and some transition masking, and it turned out to be very well. So when we implemented to the video, it all turned out to be this.
If it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. If she ain't trying to bluff, what's the point in trying to pretend? I don't think it know up like Donnie and Mike Pence, but when they see me out in public, it's cool and we all friends.
So for these last shots, I wanted to use my Ronin M along with my GH5 and capture just the aesthetic movements of the artists doing their movements. But with the combination of the E-Yo-Yo monitor and the U-Rig clamps, I was able to just see my shots within the GH5, pointing it straight to the monitor, and the clamps just helped me to adjust to where I want it to be. Now here's where gear mattered to me. I do have the Ronin RS3 Mini where it's a single-handed, but with the Ronin M, which is dual-handed, gives me so much more control with the movements when it comes for shooting music videos. And so with everything that we've done, it seemed as if I was able to top off more videos only because I kind of pushed myself in that way. The gear for this video, it completely made sense to use the Ronin M, using the E-Yo monitor, clamp that goes onto the pole for the monitor, and this blue mist filter that just popped out the softness in the video to make it that 70s feel, just really gave that look. But filming that day, it was just completely hot and all my gear was on fire. Well, speaking of fire, for my pasta rosses out there, there's some fire content next coming up. See, I had this shoot where I never thought I was going to be into this community. And so this posed a challenge because with this job, I needed specific tools in order to make this happen. I mean, after all, I'm literally going into a grow house. Okay, let me give you some better context on why I'm here. Now, creators that focus on product photography for brands or businesses and also partake in herbs, you know this job would be such a dream job. So here's the objective. My homie stepdad owns a brand called Canatrim that specifically supplies gloves, masks, hair nets, and even beard nets for the grow house industry. We wanted to get video shots of the workers using the products to showcase what the products are capable of going through within the business. This job was definitely one of those long jobs. I had to wake up at 4 a.m., roughly get done at 8, and had to do this for 5 days. And as of right now, Canatrim and I have a great relationship when it comes to making content for the IG posts, and things are definitely going great. But let me show you the gear that I had to use to make this job possible. I decided to go light with 2 cameras, 2 lenses, and 2 important filters. All I needed was the GH5 and also the GoPro 9. For lens choices, I used a 75 to 300 to not bother the workers, and the 25 prime for sharper details when it came to the products. I brought me a double battery grip so I can do vertical shooting, and along with having that extra battery life. Now, these filters were very crucial within this video shoot. An ND filter was going to help me adjust the lighting and have the same aperture that I prefer. But as for the HPS grow room filters were super important when it came to the grow rooms themselves. You see, the grow rooms use an HPS light, or a high pressure sodium light that represents artificial sun. But using the HPS filters converted the colors into a Rec 709. And yes, I tried color grading this myself without the filters and it just was not possible. However, it's always important to have that right specific gear because every gear does have its time for when gear does matter. But as you can clearly see, I'm holding on to the thread because I didn't do enough research when it came to knowing the thread size, and even step up rings didn't even allow me to attach it, so I kind of had to hold it in front of the lens. But you just gotta make it do what it is, what it doesn't. See, having that gear was definitely important because, as I mentioned before, having that filter was definitely needed. And using that telephoto lens was important only because I'm still going on their work day. These people are still working and I don't want to bother them getting way too close and directing them because yes, they did really act like robots when I try to direct them. You see, there is a time when you need to realize that gear does matter. And here's how I think you can break it down to know when it does matter. Gear really matters when you know that you're going to use this gear in multiple line of times. Like a one-handed wielded gimbal can probably benefit you for weddings, portraits, probably vlogs, concerts, real estate, and probably products. But there's also the type of gear that's bestly used for that one specific niche, and if you know that you're going to be filming within that niche a lot of the times, then it would always benefit you for when you do that type of job. In my case, having the HPS filters benefited me for the grow house only because grow houses are mainly the only places that uses high pressure sodium lights. Thus, having that gear matters to me because I am going to be using it a lot more when I work with Canatrim. Now, money-wise, when it comes to this gear, I think it's very important that when you buy this gear though, you need to add this into your film gear kit so that way you can up your prices and pay those off and it all ties in together. Like if you're charging $200 for a video, then if you add new gear and it costs you $80 to get it, then you should probably be charging $250 or almost $300 just so you can pay it off throughout several videos, right? But again, I know you'll figure it out. Well, if you do like this video, thanks for watching. This was my creative process 12, a great vibe of an experience of where the 3 top filmmaking things I've done where my cameras has taken me. And if you want to see more videos videos like this, then feel free to subscribe. It's entirely up to you. Or you can click on this next video that will just bring you to my next adventures of my creative process of what I've done in the past. Once again, my name is Tyski Ty. Make it do what it is, what it doesn't, and I'll catch you on the next video.